Okay. I'm going to start out by saying this is the same day from the other video. My major question is, what do I do now that I found mold? I did make a little video about it where I found mold just on the topical part of the soil, but it's gotten to the point where I'm finding like mushy. The substrate is, yeah, you can see how fuzzy this is. I will wash my hands after this. I promise I'm not going to touch my face. But this is a problem. That is like real mold. I have some good soil underneath. I can see it. I just need to be very slow, very careful, and maneuver everything about this to make sure that I don't just put mold elsewhere. Yeah, he's done. I know I said I wasn't going to touch my face, and I'm like scratching it. I'm trying to scratch it with my other fingers. I'm using only 2 fingers. I couldn't find my other glove for my right hand. So there's a nice 4-inch pocket in between the good soil that I can see and the base of the succulent that has the mold. There's only one succulent that has the mold. I ended up going through the entire thing, and I'm lucky-ish there. The fact that there's mold at all is what is burning my toast. But it's this guy. There is mold in his base. Now, I think the reason there's mold in there is because, like, this guy was falling apart. Otherwise, he looks fine, but with all these leaves that are sitting on the bottom, we like propagation, but we need to set them aside. Try not to propagate your props in the same pot as your good growth. Otherwise, you get bad growth. He tried. He tried so hard. I'm so sorry. Because the minute I picked this up, like a bunch of these leaves fell off, and they look like healthy leaves, but the succulent itself is saying there's a problem. So he's just dropping leaves left and right. I should be able to starch him. I'm going to use starch to try to save him. I'm not going to propagate this one. I'm going to put a note on him. Do not propagate. Do not try to, yeah, see, he's just given up on me. And I'm emptying it over a pot that I was going to use, but now this is going to be my discard pot. I don't want to use any of that soil, which that just sucks. If I can get these to propagate, these fell off while I picked up the succulent, I'll propagate these only. I will not propagate the major succulent. Otherwise, yeah, you can see damage in here. He's very sunburnt. He's very thin. Like, this guy fell off, but he's mushy on the inside. He's kind of a peach color. Don't propagate that. Translucent almost all the way through. There's a lot of warning signs that obviously box chain stores don't care to pay attention to. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to make an absolute mess on my porch. I don't care at this point because this is just... I feel discouraged. I do. I've done this for so long and I've still got stuff that I've got to work through with these succulents. Man, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, I did end up going through my other succulents to make sure that there wasn't mold on them, and they weren't touching the molded parts, but I'm going to keep a very close eye. So when you find mold, your best bet is just to pull the molded part out, and then if it's all up in the soil, just dump the soil, call it done, cull the damaged succulent, and out. This is more frustrating than I anticipated. I didn't even when I picked this one out, this was not my intention to show you, oh look, you know, mold. But I'm going to put these two in baby pots, and I'm going to pay attention to them. When it comes time, I will starch the bottoms. I will put that as a video, how to starch your succulents, what starch does for your succulents. I'm also going to make sure that I don't introduce mites to this small population of succulents. It already happened at my parents' house. I'm in a place where I can't just have all my succulents at once. So I thought, okay, well, since my birthday was just a couple days ago, I will get myself a little pot. But my friend, you caused more problems than I anticipated. So what we're gonna do is carefully just separate some succulents from the rest of the population. This was the molded succulent. He's gonna need brand new soil. Okay, so when you find mold in your succulent, what do? Well, as I showed in the last video, I'm going to completely get rid of the soil. Completely. Anything on the roots, gotta go. In some instances, I would leave this guy out for a whole week. I would wait for him to dry out. This is more discouraging. He does have a pup in there, so I'm hoping that takes off. There's a lot of sunburn, like you can see it on all the tips of those leaves. They water them and they stick them in the sun and they think, oh yeah, no problem, and it's a problem. So I've completely patted this guy off, and I'm going to just stick him inside. And with the tiniest pieces of soil, little clumps of soil I have that are nice and dry, stuck together, I'm just going to cover the roots up, but I am not going to pack him in there. I want his roots to dry, but I want him to be protected. We're still cold here, so same thing with that one. I need one more pot if I can find. Just kidding, I don't have any more pots. I've officially used up all my pots, but if I had a pot, that's what I would do. I'm gonna end up needing to, actually, I see a box. 1 second, please. I know I keep walking off camera and you're like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Okay. I'm going to use my neighbor's box as my dump. Now, I would love to keep this stock because it's healthy, but it's moldy. We're not gonna do that. And it's all gotta go. It sucks. It's not what I wanted to do. I'm not happy about it. Of course they would damage succulents. Why wouldn't they? And I'm gonna have to completely sweep up all of this that I have. Like, I've got a little pile over here. That one I'm going to be able to, yeah, look at that. Look at that slime. You can see it in the sun. That is just root rot at its finest. Lovely. Yep, like the last one, just, sucks. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be the lesson. When you find mold in your succulents, just completely pull out the succulent from the pot that you find it, decimate all of the soil that's sitting on the roots. If you find a bad succulent, cull the whole stalk. If you can successfully extract a few propagations, only extract the good propagations. The one that have touched the mold, the one that have mold on them, just toss them. The ones that are translucent and flat, don't keep them. They'll introduce more issues to your succulents. If you're trying to use propagations, please, whatever you do, do not prop in the succulents unless they are the succulent, but don't let them cover up the soil. At this point, like I said in previous videos, I have completely pulled them and put them in a brand new pot or a brand new platter or just something small, something flat. Set them on top of the soil, don't bury them, and when you water the center, not the outsides. It should be okay. At this point, I'm not even going to water these for 2 weeks. I'm going to make a note to myself, do not water for 2 weeks. So that is what you do. That's what to be aware of, especially when you find root, rot, or mold, or even mites. So tune in next time. Peace out, suckers.